Welcome back to Headlines Now. A 43-year-old man of Sri Lankan origin with diamonds concealed in his body was caught red-handed by the suburban police outside the Chennai airport last evening. Acting on a tip-off and on close watch of his screening, he was found to have swallowed several packages containing diamonds worth around 1.5 crore rupees. The smuggler was on his way to North Chennai to sell the jewels to a merchant in the area.
Initially denied. Later on, when we took him to hospital and took the X-ray, we found everything available in the stomach. Then he admitted the office. Later on, after the consumption of some bananas and food and some more medicines and the thing, whole thing came out. All the things have been collected. It's around 42 packets. And in 42 packets, there are 2,065 pieces of diamonds. Its value should be around something between 1.5 to 2 crore rupees approximately.
And joining us live right now is our crime reporter Salim, who's been tracking that story. Salim, what are your police sources and the ones in the customs as well telling you at this point of time? Have they got any more leads into this case?
Evelyn, more shockingly, for those who wonder how much these smugglers are paid to traffic all the way from Sri Lanka to Chennai, they are just paid 10,000 rupees to traffic these precious stones. And on confession, he said that he didn't know who the sender was, but even he didn't know to whom he has to hand over these diamonds. All that he knew is there are some codes that are imprinted on these precious stones, and it will automatically reach the person, reach a merchant who is originally from Jaipur and he is residing in North Chennai. The police accompanied the accused to North Chennai. However, their search ended in vain. Now this criminal has been handed over to the customs official in airport.
Right. Thanks very much indeed, Salim, for joining us with that update. Well, in other news, just if your office happens to be along the IT corridor, well, the roads that were once plush and rosy won't be the sight anymore. Now, with the monsoon staring down your throat, it looks like it's high time authorities took note of the appalling conditions. My colleague Krishnamurthy took a walk down and says all is not well.
The roads leading to a boom in the IT sector is definitely not an easy task, and authorities in Chennai seem to have taken this term quite literally. I'm standing on one of the important roads in Taramani which leads to many IT companies, and if my camera person could just pan through behind me, as you can see, the roads have been dug up towards the sides and pipes have been strewn around. And this actually adds to the misery. As you can see, the entire road is filled with traffic, absolutely chock-a-block with vehicles. And one of the reasons also leading up to this traffic jam is because of the umpteen number of potholes. Now, this definitely adds to the traffic snarls over here. And then if you thought that it was a big problem for vehicles over here, well, it's definitely not a walk in the park for pedestrians over here. Now, as you can see, this road is filled with muck and slush, and it's really difficult for pedestrians to walk through, and they're actually stranded. As you can see, because of the traffic, they can't even walk towards the side of the road. Now, if my camera person could pan towards my right, you can see there are workers working on digging up the roads. Absolutely deplorable conditions over here. Now, apparently the EB department is working on laying in some wires, and it would take around 2 to 3 weeks to complete this. Now, this definitely adds to the misery as the monsoons are staring at us right now, and looks like the authorities are working in tandem to add to the misery of Chennai. Now, definitely some action needs to be taken as soon as possible before the rains come pouring down. In Chennai, with camera person Sagar Raj, this is Krishnamurthy for Ndtv-Hindu.
Well, like you saw, there are not even a single traffic policeman there, but very ironically, the auto rickshaw drivers playing Good Samaritan. Now, the Common Admission Test 2010 for admissions into the prestigious Indian Institute of Management is complete. More than 2 lakh MBA aspirants all across the country took up the CAT exams this year, but that number is much less than last year's outcome. On one hand was the fear of glitches in the online format, and the other was that students had to leave their homes at ungodly hours to reach their centres, which were most often off the city limits in Tamil Nadu. However, authorities have ensured that there will be no repeat of last year's online exam fiasco. Now, in the wake of the ship collision that shook Mumbai city 3 months ago, the Indian Coast Guard, in coordination with the Ennore and the Chennai Port Trust, conducted a pollution response exercise today about 6 nautical miles off the Chennai port. And my colleague Salim took to the high seas along with one of those teams and sent us this report.
It's been almost 3 months now since two merchant ships collided just 5 miles off the coast of Mumbai. The unprecedented mid-sea disaster blocked India's busiest trade route, causing huge losses to the ports and exporters. Economically, environmentally and logistically, no doubt, it's a big calamity. In fact, after inspecting the oil spill, Environmental Minister Jairam Ramesh said, this is the biggest oil spill India has ever seen. So what if such a disaster takes place anywhere near Chennai's coastline? Well, the Indian Coast Guard say they are all set to tackle any such unprecedented disaster. What you see here is the mock drill. The Indian Coast Guard, who have formulated a national oil spill disaster contingency plan for meeting any oil spill situation that may occur within our territorial waters in the near future. The Coast Guard believe that this pollution response exercise will enhance their capability to carry out an effective response. In Chennai, with camera person Madan, Salim for Ndtv-Hindu.
Well, plenty of sports news and much more coming up your way with my colleague Natasha.
Well, sports managers face massive inflation rates and sports star Saina Nehwal's endorsements go up to an all-time high. Also coming up on the show, in a run-up to Diwali, imagine if Martina Navratilova were to don a sari. And if Lokpriya's trial was any indication, it probably would take Martina longer to buy a sari in Chennai than to finish her match. That's coming up.